Member for Kairuku.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker. My question without notice is directed to the Minister for Mining, and I would appreciate if the Minister for SEPA to take note. Mr. Acting Speaker, 3 weeks ago, I was invited, or I attended an extended invitation to a forum organized by Tolukuma Mine's new owners, the Lole Mining Company, at Bluffin Resort in Hirikweri Electric. I learned then that the company was now licensed to reopen or recommence operations of the mine. And whilst I do appreciate and welcome the news for anyone project to kickstart for our country to bring in the dollars to run this country through our annual budgetary process. My people of Kairuku have an issue with the reopening of the mine, especially with the dumping of mine waste that had actually happened in the last 25 to 30 years of mine operations to people of Kuni, Mekeo, and Kairuku LLGs, respectively. These are people who live along the St. Joseph's Angabanga riverine that runs from Goilala or Tolukuma area in Goilala district and ends up at Oreka village at the mouth of St. Joseph's River in Kairuku LLG area, running through Kuni and Mekeo LLGs. My question to the minister is, can he deny or confirm that he did issue a mining lease to Lola Mining to recommence mining? And is he also going to look at the pollution issue that my people have been affected with for last 25 or 30 years of the mine operation? Obviously, the current member for Goilala will agree with me because he visited the St. Jared's School of Nursing in Veifa on the 10th of last month. And he would agree with me that the St. Joseph's Angabanga riverine has got sedimentation built up on the riverbed, which causes haywalk as soon as the rain starts pouring in the mountains of Goilala district. He's run through a flood within a matter of minutes, having to run through a dry road in West Mekeo area. And only in a matter of hours, he had to go through 2 or 3 meters water deep flood. So there's a real issue here. We've also had deformed babies. We've had mysterious death.
Honourable Member, you make a short statement and get straight to your question.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker. Well, all this relate to destruction caused by the mine in the last 25, 30 years of the mine life. So with the reopening now, I'd like to draw the minister as well as the SEPA minister's attention that we need to look at the livelihoods of these people. You know, otherwise we're causing genocide like, you know, every other place in the world. So my question to the minister is, has he renewed or issued a license to Lola Mining to commence operation in the absence of all the environmental issues that are yet to be resolved? Because I would invite the minister to look at some world-class safety-cautious mines in the world, like the one I visited together with the late Grand Chief at the invitation. And
Honourable Member, you already get to your question and you going out again making statements. So we have limited time for questions. Just
Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker. But, you know, these are matters of importance that we need to get the minister to answer correctly because it involves lives of people. And Kairuku people are people of Papua New Guinea that deserve human rights like everybody else. Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker. If the minister can answer, as he reissued the mining license without consideration for the environmental impacts it's going to cause again to my people. Thank you.
The Honourable Minister, I think you can be aware that I've interrupted the member so much on the statement, but he's more concerned on what issues in his electorate, so I hope you respond to the member. Honourable Minister.
Yeah, Mr. Acting Speaker, I'm aware of the importance of this question, and of course, member for Kairuku has been a real champion of this environmental issue, and he has the right to be concerned, and he should be allowed every right to raise his concerns on the floor of Parliament, especially to me as the Minister for Mining. But it is an issue that must be addressed at all times on this floor of Parliament. Environmental issue is important because it affects the lives of people along the rivers. And I, as the minister, some of this, I was not a party to the arrangements, especially the mining license. The license for this mine was issued. It's just that the company went into liquidation. Liquidation is a really issue of a commercial transaction. So if you have no money, you go into liquidation, then you are governed by the laws of liquidation to handle those issues. But it doesn't affect your right, mining right, your license. So that license is still there. And now that the company has found a way out of that liquidation, it is now going into business. So that license was actually issued. It's actually in existence. Just the business aspects as a result of the problems, they couldn't continue. But I want to stress here that now that the company has, I think he's bought the company from the liquidators, and he can now go into business. But I am really, really concerned about the environmental issues that you have raised, and you've always raised it. And we have to be mindful of that. You are not just raising it today. You have raised it all these years that you've been on the floor of Parliament. And you have a right, and it is important that we address these issues. But I will probably leave that area of the this aspect of mining to the responsible minister. But I want to assure you that I am very concerned about it too. I am concerned because it is going to happen now that the mining is likely to reopen. So we will look at every way possible to minimize the impact of waste dumping in the rivers. It's something that we should not do, but because people have been given, companies have been given mining licenses and environmental permits, like I'm bound by those commitments, and you're bound by it, and all of us are bound by it, but we should never stop looking at the detrimental impact of this. Even in mining areas where you know, we are still dumping in the sea, in area, we should never stop looking at these things. We must find a way, because it not only affects the environment, but it also affects our marketability. It affects our value in the industry, our value in the marketplace out there. That if we are dumping out there, the oil is going to make it more difficult for us to do business, because the rest of the world is moving on, and we have to move on as well. So I want to assure you that we will continue looking at a better way, and we must look at a better way. But as to the mining license, it was done before, and I'm committed to those commitments that have been made by the previous ministers to companies, and which have now gone into commercial commitments as well. And as a government, we have a duty to honor those commitments. But member for Kairuku, I'm with you. I'm with your people, and I'm with your concerns, and I want to assure you that we are looking at every possible way of minimizing or even stopping dumping in the rivers. Thank you very much.